Okay, this is Johnny. He's either 19 or 20, UPJ. Um, Want to take a minute to look at a couple of things here. Stance is fine. There's nothing wrong there. Let's start with the lower half and kind of work our way up. Okay, so keeping your eyes below the green, um, you'll see that he has a high leg kick uh, trigger, which I like. What's not so great is this shin angle here. Though he is slightly inside his ankle, it is really close. And we talk about, not creating a negative back here. A negative is something where you lose momentum. Think of it this way: when you pick up your foot, you want to be falling forward. If you don't, then your body will have to generate momentum another way. A lot of times that's unhealthy, and almost all the time it's less forceful. So we like to see, when you have a high leg lift, something closer to that. Okay, this would be even better. Okay, so that's going to present some problems with shin angle later, I would imagine. You'll see that he gets to stride foot touchdown here. This isn't a bad leverage position. It's good. What we'll see next is his heel come down, probably. Yep, right there. So that's not a bad leveraged position. It's a good strong position. If he were a little bit wider, I'd like it a little bit more. Because watch what's probably going to happen here. His back knee is not going to get under the ball. I would imagine in this position here, it would be best if he would have his hip open a little bit. He's a little bit closed, so you couldn't say that his hips are in motion. And how do we know that? Well, we know that by looking at the front foot. The front foot's always a window into what the hips are doing. So right now his hips are relatively close because his foot is relatively closed. And you're going to see him make up for that a little bit, but not a whole lot. You'll look and see that that hip remains closed. So despite being extremely strong and powerful, this player is not getting the most out of his swing. That's a good flexed position at impact, but look at the shin angle that he's doing here. That's a little bit too high. We would rather have that going a little bit more that way, okay? A little bit closer to parallel. I like the back leg slide in, but there is just too much vertical posture here. He is really up and down, whereas, we should see a straightening of the front leg here. And what's also going to happen at the end of the swing, it looks like he's going to get into a golf swing. Yeah, right there. If I were to stop him right there, that looks like a golf swing. And what I mean by that is his posture is straight up and down, which makes it very difficult for him to hit anything on the outer half of the plate. We want to stay stacked when we hit behind our midline, back here through impact, and he's a little bit too far forward, and most of that is because of where his front leg is. He never really engages his front hip. Because this kid is such a good athlete, he's able to turn, but that's not where we want to be. We want to see that front leg more here, and then what would happen is, the video cuts off here, so I'm unable to see what happens, but I would bet he's able to hold this position and not fall over the plate, which means he's not using much posture, okay? If you don't have much posture, you don't create enough angular velocity. Angular velocity is the other half of the equation of bat speed, and though he has, a strong radius here and here, if you don't have good angular velocity, you're missing out on 50% of what you could do. So that's an issue. There's a lot of drills that we do to address all of these. The problem with players his age, and frankly, the problem with players that are over 13, is that they've had a lot of success doing things their way. And they are reluctant to change and take instruction, and they have the intentions of doing it, but when it comes down to it, they kind of revert back to their DNA and their old habits because they have served them well, in rec ball or some of those, lower high school leagues or even divisions. If you played single A or double A ball, you're probably successful swinging this way. But if you play 6A or you want to play in college, it's gonna be easy to get you out with off-speed pitches, especially away and down in the zone. It's very difficult to hit pitches when you pull off without posture like this. So, though this is a forceful and powerful swing, and I have no doubt that when he gets his pitch, he hits it very, very hard, There are many ways that a pitcher can attack this guy, and he's going to have to go through some very purposeful drilling that's going to take him out of these old habits and put him into better habits through muscle memory. So again, if they're a powerful swing, a good stroke, but there are some issues with it that need to be addressed, and it would take a long road of purposeful drilling to get there. And I hope this was helpful. Let me know if you'd like me to help, or shoot me another video, and maybe I can come up with some purposeful drilling to get you out of this. You look like a golfer right there. If I put a 9-iron in your hand, that would look like Payne Stewart. Okay, good luck.